That was a different introduction. That was using an intro. Basically, an intro video is played at the start of a broadcast to let people have a chance to sit down, grab a glass of water or a cup of coffee and sit and watch the video. Now, today, I'm just going over to the chat and I'm going to connect the chat because I know there's a message waiting. Let's go to chat and connect. Let's wait for this. Right, okay, so the chat is connecting and we're underway. And it is Wednesday, it's 10 a.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. in the UK, and we have a topic for today. And our topic for today is an update on OneStream Live, new live studio features, including intros and outros, raising your hand and reactions. We're going to discuss all those over the course of this broadcast. And I want to say thank you for joining me, but not with me today. If I go over here, bring myself full screen, I've got a message that's come through from Alec in Sweden. And Alec is saying, Alec is not in the house today. He's in Italy on vacation and will watch the replay. So Alec, thank you for letting me know. Alec usually, and I usually have a chat when I go live, and today, because he's on holiday, we can't. So if you're watching live on YouTube, I want to say thank you very much for joining me. And during the course of the show, we're going to go through all the new things in the OneStream Live Studio, which I'm sat in at the moment. And the first of those is intros. Now, the thing about an intro is it sets the tone for the show. And rockets going into space. So the way that I look at this, we're on liftoff, and we're going to lift off with intros. And as I said a moment ago, an intro is a short video which actually starts the show. Now, I know some people have countdown clocks of 5 and 10 minutes. I don't go in for that. My countdown clock is only a minute. And if we just reprise, if I go over here, the thing about having the video at the start of the show is that there is nothing to stop you having the same video during the show. So let's just take a close look in case you missed it. This is the intro for today's show. Now, that was one of the first ever countdown clocks I made. I did a series of about 40 different countdown clocks back in 2020, and they're still good now. What I've done is I've taken the video and I put new music on, so I know that it's fully licensed. So I've used ScreenPal to add new music to it. The countdown clock in the right-hand corner is the piece of software that I actually created. So technically, I'm using an application to actually create the video, and creating the video, it's a labor of love, and you use a mix of video and music, and in that particular case, the program. Now, you can create intros about anything. Well, let me show you how this all works. If I go down here and go to here, then I can show you how this works, because as well as intros to a broadcast, you can do outros, so that when you finish the broadcast, a video will play. Now, in the old method of doing this, you had to do it manually, which means that you've got to start the video as you go live for the intro and start the outro video just as you actually finish the broadcast. With OneStream Live now, everything is automatic. As I'll show you in this video, you can set the intro video, you can set the outro video, and they will play on every broadcast you do until you change them. Yeah, so they're part of your media settings. Let's take a look behind the scenes. Right, we're in the OneStream Live Studio, my OneStream Live Studio, and we're going to take a look at intros and outros. Now, an intro and outro is a pre-recorded video that you can upload into your studio. And if we look at media, you can see that with the media, what I've actually done previously is I've uploaded a series of videos. And this video here, the rocket one, I want that to play at the beginning of my broadcast. So I'm going to set it as an intro. And I'll just give you a flavor of what the video does. This plays at the beginning of my broadcast like this. Now, basically, it would run for a minute. Just a minute, I'll hide it again. Slight delay there, and I'm hiding it. Right, okay, we're back in control. Now, so that is my intro, and I've just previously uploaded it to media, and then my outro at the end of the show is going to be this one. So I'm going to go here, and I'm going to set this as outro. So let's see what this one looks like. Right. Now, you can determine the length of the intro and outro by the length of the video. It's as simple as that. You can play the full video or you can play part of it. Now, by setting them to intro and outro, it means that when I go live, my intro is showing on screen there and also the outro, but the intro is there and I'm ready to go live, and that video with the rocket will play at the beginning of the broadcast. All I need to do to switch it off is to go to intro, and I can deselect it by pressing remove as intro. Likewise, remove as outro, and the whole system is straightforward to operate, and it does mean that you are able to actually make your broadcast more professional. And the videos can be anything you like. So enjoy using intros and outros on. You caught me tapping a message and sending it over to YouTube. So that's hello from me to everybody who's actually watching, listening live on YouTube. If you're watching the replay, I'd like to say thank you as well. And if you've got any questions about anything that I show you today, about intros and outros, about reactions, and about the, well, hand, I'll demonstrate those as we go along during this broadcast. So intros and outros set up automatically, and they will play on every single video that you do. Okay, if you want to change them, you can go in and change them. If you want to create them, you can create them using Camtasia, in video. There are literally hundreds of different programs. We've all got our favorite ones, and use that program to create the video, import it into your studio, and then set it as an intro and outro, and it will play whenever you want it to play. Again, as I said, if you're watching on YouTube Live, then you'll see this message come up, and there it is. That's hello from the OneStream Live team. And if you have any questions about OneStream Live, you can ask them during these broadcasts. I mean, I do have the topic today, and let's remind ourselves what we're talking about. we're talking about intros and outros, which we're covering at the moment, talking about raising your hand and reactions. So those are the ones that we're going to go through. And if I take that off full screen, let's just see what we've got on screen at the moment. Okay, we've got me and we've got the raised reactions. Now, the agenda today. If I go here, the agenda is as follows: the introduction and intros and outros. That's where we've started. That's getting the broadcast underway. And basically, the benefit of having an intro and outro is to make your show more professional. Now, it doesn't have to be a countdown clock. You could make it so that your intro says something about the broadcast. Okay, I come across a great program the other day, Murph, and Murph.io you could use to do voiceovers, or Murph.ai, do voiceovers, not in your own voice. So all sorts of things that you can actually do, and just have fun. I mean, that's the whole thing I'm going to be coming to later in the show, is the whole point of broadcasting. If we go through the full agenda: introduction, intros and outros, reactions, raise hand, the OneStream Live Studio, updated, of course, and then enjoy broadcasting, which is my call to action at the end. So those are the things that we're looking at today. And let me just scroll down, and I'm going to bring that back to here. Okay, so that's, and then I'm going to bring this on stream and take myself off solo, and there we have it. So you're watching Stephen live on the OneStream Live YouTube channel, talking about intros, raising your hand and reactions, and the agenda is at the side of us. Now, the next item I want to talk about, what I've done is to make videos about all this, is that at the bottom of my studio, which I'll show you later, I've got reactions. And if I click the reactions button, then I can bring up a thumbs up, and that will appear on screen. And the sound, which hopefully you heard, and it's just gone through the screen. And then another action. These are all in the studio. So basically, what you can do with the reactions is you can increase interaction by showing, because basically it's a way of communicating between you and your guests. If you've got guests on the show, not only can you, well, before I go, and I'm just going to go over to media, and I'm going to explain how this all works. So going over to media, and we're going over to the OneStream update. Right, so I'm going to take you through the OneStream update, then I'll be back, and then we'll talk more about the OneStream Live Studio. We're in the OneStream Live Studio, my OneStream Live Studio, and there's some new functions I'd like to take a look at. First of which is reactions. And if I click on reactions, I get icons appearing underneath my screen, like so. Now, the thing is, these reactions are available to the host of the show, and if the host makes them available to the guests, they're available to the guests as well. So at any point during the broadcast, these buttons can be pressed. So thumbs up. Okay, and the next one, applause. Okay, so we're running through them. Okay, now you can switch the name on and off. If you want it to be anonymous, then we won't know which of your guests has done it, but you can switch the names on. I'll show you that in a moment. Next one, wow. That's not me. And then sad, depending on the story, of course. Love is in the air, and love icon will come up in a second, or not. Okay, and there we are. So let's go back to love again. Ah, right, okay. and then the settings. Now, as far as the settings are concerned, you can, as I said earlier, give the reactions to guests as well. You can play the sounds, which hopefully you've heard on this recording. You can show participants' names with the reactions, and you can have the reactions move on the screen. So all of those are switchable on and off. Okay, so let's take the reactions off the screen. Now, the next thing is also important. If you're running a broadcast and you have several participants as guests, then if somebody wants to speak, they can quite simply take the reactions off. They can quite simply raise their hand. Okay, as soon as they start talking, then you get a message on the screen which says it sounds like you said something, so your hand will be lowered. So the hand will disappear off the screen automatically. Now, as I say, this is important in a scenario where you've got multiple guests and somebody wants to talk. They don't want to talk across somebody because trying to cut in doesn't really work. So raise your hand if you want to talk, and you can do it, and it shows on the screen until you actually start talking. So simple, straightforward to do. And using the reactions, you can sort of put a bit of energy into your broadcast as well. So the reactions available to the host and to the guests can be seen by the viewers, and another step forward. So this is the OneStream Live Studio. This has been Stephen, and next. Enjoy. This is Stephen again, and I'm just going to go over here and move that over there. Just a moment. This should work. If not, I do have a plan B. Okay, so I'm over here now, and basically I put my glasses on so I can actually see what I'm doing in the studio, because the reactions, all of this is to increase engagement with the audience. And if I go for reactions down here, I can bring the reactions up on screen. So thumbs up. Yeah, and it appears in the corner, and then it scrolls up the screen with my name. Now remember, I can switch that name on and off. Then a round of applause. Okay. And you can play it twice if you like. Okay. And you'll notice it actually moves to different places on the screen, so it's quite random. Celebration. Okay, so celebrations is working, and sometimes you're talking about something which is sad, so you bring up a sad emoticon, and then smiley. Okay, now, that wasn't me. That was not my voice. Okay, and then sad. I think I. And compensate with that heart and spread the love to your audience. Now, in a situation where you have guests, this is a boon, because when you're talking about a topic, your guests can agree with you simply by pressing, because they've got these ones as well. They can agree. You can take an instant poll, agree or disagree. So agree is that one, and disagree is this one. And so you've got, basically, if you've got 5, 6 people on screen, then you can take a poll of all your guests and how do you feel about that? So rather than everybody have to talk at the same time, they can just give it a thumbs up or a thumbs down. The other thing you can do, if they're really into what you say, is that they can love what you're saying. Now remember, all of this is visible on screen. It's the image, the name if you're putting names on, and it's showing on screen, it's scrolling. And it just adds to the variety, because the thing is, when you're broadcasting, what you want to do is entertain, educate, inform, and entertain. And that's what we should do on every single broadcast that we're part of. And that's whether we're hosting the show or a guest on the show. Now, the reactions I've shown you are available to the host and to guests. So that is basically the reactions and settings. I've gone into settings earlier and I've set it up so that guests can send reactions, so you can switch that on and off. You can play the sounds or not. And oh, that's the point. That's the point. Let me come back here. Let me go here. Okay, just an important note here. When I'm live broadcasting normally, I have noise cancellation on my microphone, which means that noises not me cannot be heard, which is brilliant if you're actually in a noisy environment in an office or where you've got people going past and making noises. Noise cancellation is a boon because it basically gets rid of all the background noise, and the only thing that can be heard is you. I'll give you, for instance, next door, they were renovating the bathroom, and there's a lot of work going on in the yard, sawing, hammering. I heard it, but everybody listening to the video didn't hear it because I had noise cancellation on. Now, if we go to reactions again, you'll notice that when I do the applause sound, a sound, okay, if I had noise cancellation on, that sound would not be heard. Now, I'm hoping that when I finished this recording, I'll be able to go and look at that and hear it, because you've got to switch noise cancellation off for the sounds to actually be heard on the live broadcast, just a note. But they're so simple to use. You can hide them, you can bring them back, and at any point during the broadcast, you click one of them, and you can basically add a bit of love to your broadcast. And as far as people in the studio are concerned, they can do the same too. So you could have everybody pressing the button at the same time, and it would just be amazing. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get 2 or 3 friends involved, and we're going to give that a full test because it's only been out a week. This is totally new to OneStream Live. It is a OneStream Live exclusive, and I'm just looking forward to using it in my broadcasts. Okay, now, one of the things that I know from, I've been doing a show for just over 8 years now, and the show is called Blubbing for Britain. And Blubbing for Britain is an institution. It's syndicated to Royston Radio. Thank you to Hans for that. So the podcast goes to Royston Radio and it's played the following day. And it's also on Spotify. But the problem we have, we've been broadcasting together for 8 years. And occasionally you interrupt somebody when you don't want to. And that's a problem. When you've got multiple guests and the host on the screen and you want to talk, what you want to do is put your hand up. Yeah. You don't want to start talking because if you start talking, it cuts across, it's rude. Yeah. It cuts across what the other person was saying. And it's always difficult at times to actually tell when somebody stopped talking. One of my friends particularly will take a breath and you think they've stopped talking, but they haven't. Okay. Now, once you get to know somebody, it's not a problem. But if you've got guests on your show you've never met before, they could be in full flow and then just stop. And you think you can pick up the slack and start talking. Not so, which is where this comes in. And if I just take those off screen and come here, the simplest way now in the OneStream Live Studio, if you want to speak and you're on a multiple guest show, is just put your hand up. Now that hand means I want to speak, and it stays there until you do start speaking. And I've now got a message in the studio which says it sounds like you said something, so your hand will be lowered. So the hand is going to disappear now automatically. So I switch the hand on, and as soon as I start talking, the system will switch it off. Now this is golden for a multi-person broadcast, because as I say, you don't know when somebody's actually, two things. One, you don't know when somebody's finished talking, and if they see a hand on screen, they know they can stop talking because somebody else wants to talk to the point that they're talking about. And the other side of that coin is, I want to talk. Okay, and again, in a multiple guest show, you don't know who wants to talk, and people tend to sit forward in the seats and they're champing at the bit to actually get on air. Don't need to do that now. All you need to do is just press the hand, and as we know, the hand will stay there until I start talking. System recognizes I'm talking, brings up a message on screen and says, right. Now you could, if I go here, oh, I wasn't quick enough then. Let's do it this way. If I click the hand again and I wait for the message to come up, I'm going to wait for the message because it's found me, it knows I'm talking. So the message is on screen, and now I can actually keep that on screen. Yeah. So that hand is going to stay there. So again, you and your guests are in control. So it could mean I want to speak again. Yeah. Or will you stop talking? It depends. Yeah. But basically, this hand resolves the two problems. Yeah. Because if you can display on screen, and it's going to go now, if you can display on screen that you want to talk, then the show host will know, your fellow guests will know. If one of your fellow guests is talking, they can give way to you. Yeah, I give way to my friend. Okay, which is a phrase from the House of Commons in England. I give way to my honourable friend. So in order, basically in keeping order of a multi-person broadcast, it is going to be so useful. And I just wish I had it every Thursday when we do Blabbing for Britain. So that's it. That's basically the hand. So we've looked at intros and outros. So let's go back and do a recap. Just a minute. Let's bring this up on screen. I'm going to take myself off solo. Okay. So we're going to have the screen come up, and I'm going to slide this over here. Okay. So we did the introduction earlier. We've done intros and outros. The fact that you can upload a video and you can set it to play automatically at the beginning of the show, and another one at the end of the show. And the problem was, up until now, you had to do it manually. Now it is automatic. You set it and forget it. And those intros and outros will play on every show that you do until you change them. Always switch them off. Okay. And they can be anything. They don't have to be a countdown clock. They can be anything. An intro to your broadcast. You can be very creative and record. Reactions. These are to add to the interaction during a broadcast by the host or by any of your guests. The reactions are available to everybody and will show on screen to people watching, and basically they can add to the show. You need to show every so often in your broadcast, you need to show a little bit of love. Okay, and the love plays, and it shows on my profile as well, so people know that I was the person who pressed the love button. And let's just try that again with the applause. And so I'm the one holding. Now, if basically as a host or a guest, you can use those anytime. Then we talked about raising your hand, okay, because you want to talk, and that's simple and straightforward. You just press the raise hand button. It shows the top right-hand corner of the guests or hosts, and it will automatically switch itself off in 3, 2, 1. Okay, well, 1-ish. It will go. So it's gone. Right, now, the other thing I want to talk about now, because we've done intros and reactions and raising hands, is I want to bring this on screen. And I'm going to change things slightly. And I'm going to drag this over here. Okay, this is the OneStream Live Studio. I'm going to remove that from the screen. Okay, and I'll add it back in a moment, but I'm going to go picture in picture. And this is the OneStream Studio. Now I'm still here, but you've got the picture, and that's the studio. This screenshot of the studio was taken today. So this is the studio as in June 2024. And let's just take a walk around the studio to tell you what you can do with OneStream Live at the moment. If we go to the top left, you can invite guests. Now you can have up to 9 people on screen with you. And to invite a guest, you just press the button, you get a link, you give the link to the person, that's it. The next icon, the icons down the left-hand side are then for assets. Now, an asset is a camera feed or a message feed, yeah, and sorry, camera feed or an image feed, and you can bring those on screen at any time. So if I clicked on a picture of me in red, top left of the screen, I can bring that on screen anytime. And I can also bring the image on and off screen. As you can see, the image is actually on screen at the moment. Right, under the central screen is basically, that is exactly what is going to be broadcast out to wherever you're broadcasting to. Remember, with OneStream Live, you can broadcast up to 45 different destinations. Okay, so then there's the card about today, and we're looking at intros, raising hands and reactions. And I'm just going to go over there. I'm just going to go to the chat. Chat seems fine. Okay. Now, layout wise, you can change the layout. Just let me give you, for instance, I'm doing picture in picture at the moment. I can also go over to that layout. Okay, I'm just going through the layouts that you can see. I can go to that layout. Okay, I can go side by side, like so, and side by side, like so. Okay, and then I can go back to picture in. Okay, now the number of layouts available is determined by the number of people or number of assets that are actually on screen. Okay, as I said, you can have 9 people with you on screen. Underneath that, just going across, and I'm going to sit closer to the screen. Microphone, you can bring your microphone in, you can select your microphone before you come in, and that's the first thing. If you need a moment, you can actually mute your microphone so that nobody can hear it. Okay, and then you can unmute it to bring it back on. If you're on screen, and I'm just going to give you an example of this. If you're on screen, I'm dashing with, I'm going to switch my camera off. So at any point in the broadcast, I can switch my camera off, my logo comes up, and then when I want to come back on screen, I can switch it back on again. And my fingers are crossed at this stage. So I'm back, and I can take myself on and off screen at any point. I have frozen, and now we're back. Okay. Right. Okay. The thing is, this is a live broadcast, and I'm doing things that you would do on a recorded broadcast. So we got away with that. So just need to do one thing. I just need to adjust my camera, and coming down to the menu and go there. Okay. So now I'm back to the way I was before, and I'm going to take the menu off screen. Okay. Let's come back and take myself off full screen, and we'll go back to picture in picture again. So you can adjust, you can select your microphone, you can select your camera. The next thing along the bottom is all in one place, is that you can share. Now you can share an image, you can share, well, if I go in my studio, just to remind, you can share an image, you can share a video, and you can share your screen. Part of what I'm doing today is a screen share, and go here. Okay, and in a second, it should come up. Okay, so there it is. That's a screen share. So I'm sharing my screen, and with Assistant, this is a piece of software that I wrote. So I can go from the agenda to the agenda. I can go to near where I live, which is the Courts Garden. I can show you Angelica completing the London Marathon, and I can show you the studio because I put it there as well. So we've got the studio up above us. Okay, so that's a screen share that I'm using at the moment. I can also share an RTMP source. So this is important. Now I saw it being used by DJ Strick on Monday, in that I could bring my camera in via RTMP and then position it wherever I liked. I'm going to experiment with that. I do watch DJ Strick's shows on OneStream Live on Tuesdays at 7 p.m. DJ Strick is live on the OneStream Live YouTube channel at 7 p.m. on Tuesdays. Catch his shows. We sort of complement each other and complement, well, both meanings of the word, really. So I learned something by watching DJ Strick, and I'm sure that you will too. Hopefully you're finding things of interest in this broadcast as well. Okay, so the next item that we're going to talk about is, and I'm going to go here, is basically the screen share, and you can bring in RTMP, which is brilliant. I'm going to test that later. We've got the reactions, which are in your studio now, and you can use the reactions. You can bring them on screen, and you can click a reaction now. Okay, and screen, and it's got my name on it. Okay, and again. Okay, now take that off, and then raising hands is the next item on the screen. Press raise hands, then it comes up, and then the final button I've got here is settings, and settings. This comes up. Is it on screen or not? Just a minute. No, it didn't come on screen. But you have settings where you can set up your microphone, your camera, everything that we've looked at so far. Okay, on the right-hand side of the screen, I've got control of the screen itself. Now, at the moment, I've got the chat open, so I can see when a comment is made on YouTube. I also have the media open, so I can go over to the media and I can give you a preview of the video that is going to play at the end of this broadcast. So let's have a look at the video. This is the outro video, because if you're not here at the end, you won't see it. So outro video, I'm going to play now. Now, as I said, with any video, the outro video would play for its full length of 1 minute, but I can stop it at any time. And that's true any videos you bring in, up to 20 megabytes in size, and you've got a list of them down the right-hand side of the screen. Also, in there, you can design the screen layout. So if I wanted, you've got full design features. You can just put the display names on. So if you've been watching this and you don't know who I am, then I'm going to show you my name. Okay, and I'm going to click here, and my name will appear on screen in a moment. It's thinking about it. Okay, I'm going to stop screen share. No, it's not going to. Did it come on then? It's possibly because the way I've got it set up. Okay, and we're going to go for the center. Whenever you're broadcasting, at some point, things are not going to be totally perfect, but hopefully you got the idea of that. But everything that controls how your broadcast looks is down the right-hand side of the screen, and you can, using the features there, tailor the screen to suit yourself. Now, in addition to that, you can have multiple layouts, and you can use those multiple layouts for different broadcasts, different types of broadcasts. So I'd have one for Ask Angelica on Friday, for Blubbing for Britain on Thursday, for this show on Wednesday, different setups for each of them. So that's the studio. It does everything you want and more. And I've got my name on the screen now, and I'm going to switch that off like so. Okay, told you it's because I was full screen. And it's basically, if I switch it off, there we are. Right, okay, so let's go back to me. And I'll be on screen now. Okay, so just a reprise. If I go here and I go here and take myself off solo, and we should be back on screen now. 3, 2, 1. I'm going to, there you are. So this has been a show about the new Live Studio features. It's been my pleasure to actually present it and go through them. We looked at the introduction, we looked at everything. Then we did intros and outros. And the thing is that you can now have a preset intro, which will play automatically whenever you start a OneStream Live broadcast. Same with the outro. You can change them anytime. Reactions. We've looked at the reactions within the studio, which are available to hosts and guests. And they're just live and liven up your show. Raising your hands, we talked about, and I'm going to raise my hand again. If you're on a show with guests, then what you want to be able to do is just raise your hand to say, I'd like to talk. Okay, you don't have to physically raise your hand, you just press the button. Then as soon as you start talking, the system will work out that you started talking, and basically it will take that off. And it's going to take it off in 3, 2, 1. Okay, so that's gone. And the OneStream Live Studio, I've given you a short overview. I'll be doing a longer overview this weekend about it. Now, all of these features help us to provide a professional broadcast using OneStream Live. I've only scratched the surface, but the new features of the reactions, the raise hand, and the intro and outro videos add to the power of OneStream Live and what we can do as live broadcasters from within the One Studio. Remember, within the OneStream Live Studio, you can go live, as I'm doing at the moment. This show, which went out at 10 a.m. Eastern today, will play again at 2 p.m. Eastern today. And that's because OneStream Live stores this video, and I can send it up to 15 different destinations at 2 p.m. So the recording will be replayed later today on my social media channels and in the brilliant OneStream Live Facebook group for everybody who uses OneStream Live. So the third thing is, and I'm going to check this out, well, you can bring in your own studio. If you want to bring in OBS, vMix, or XSplit Broadcaster, you can. And those facilities, together with the broadcasting to your website, OneStream Live can broadcast to your website. You can have it on a post, you can have it on a page, and this video here now could be appearing on my website. Okay, and you can do exactly the same. You can appear on a website. Now, as I said, all of this adds to basically being able to create a professional broadcast. but it also makes everything enjoyable. That's why I put this at the bottom of this agenda, is that what you want is to enjoy broadcasting. And I've got to say that with OneStream Live, let me go here. With OneStream Live and the new features, you can. Just going to go here, just a second. Let me take that off solo. Oh, where am I? I'm here. I thought I disappeared for a minute. You can really, I'm just going to go there. No, I'm going to try again, just a second. Okay. You can enjoy broadcasting. OneStream Live is the most enjoyable platform to use, and that means that we're in a good mood when we use it, and that transfers over into the live broadcast. So those are the new features. And just a minute. Let me go over to the chat. And I've got a message coming in. I'm going to show on screen. And the message says, glasses on to read it. But good morning, sir. And it's my good friend, Domino Entertainment. Welcome to the house, sir. And thank you for joining in. And another message, and we put this on screen because Domino's here. Okay, the online Domino community and Domino Entertainment hybrid events are definitely in the building. Welcome. Okay, and just for you, I'm going to show you a short video with the new features. So if I go over here, and I'm going to bring this video in, and these are the new features on OneStream Live this week. We're in the OneStream Live Studio, my OneStream Live Studio, and we're going to take a look at intros and outros. Now, an intro and outro is a pre-recorded video that you can upload into your studio. And if we look at media, you can see that with the media, what I've actually done previously is I've uploaded a series of videos. And this video here, the rocket one, I want that to play at the beginning of my broadcast. So I'm going to set it as an intro. And I'll just give you a flavor of what the video does. This plays at the beginning of my broadcast like this. Now, basically, it would run for a minute. Just a minute, hide it again. A slight delay there, and I'm hiding it. Right, okay, we're back in control. Now, so that is my intro, and I've just previously uploaded it to media, and then my outro at the end of the show is going to be this one. So I'm going to go here, and I'm going to set this as outro. So let's see what this one looks like. Right. Now, you can determine the length of the intro and outro by the length of the video. It's as simple as that. You can play the full video or you can play part of it. Now, by setting them to intro and outro, it means that when I go live, my intro is showing on screen there and also the outro, but the intro is there and I'm ready to go live, and that video with the rocket will play at the beginning of the broadcast. All I need to do to switch it off is to go to intro, and I can deselect it by pressing remove as intro. Likewise, remove as outro, and the whole system is straightforward to operate, and it does mean that you are able to actually make your broadcast more professional. And the videos can be anything you like. So enjoy using intros and outros on OneStream Live. All right, and now over to the second video, and this is basically, again, we're talking about the improvements to the OneStream Live Studio, and these are in your studio right now. Let's have a look. We're in the OneStream Live Studio, my OneStream Live Studio, and there's some new functions I'd like to take a look at. First of which is reactions. And if I click on reactions, I get icons appearing underneath my screen, like so. Now, the thing is, these reactions are available to the host of the show, and if the host makes them available to the guests, they're available to the guests as well. So at any point during the broadcast, these buttons can be pressed. So thumbs up. Okay, and the next one, applause. Okay, so we're running through them. Okay, now you can switch the name on and off. If you want it to be anonymous, then we won't know which of your guests has done it, but you can switch the names on. I'll show you that in a moment. Next one, wow. That's not me. And then sad, depending on the story, of course. Love is in the air. And love icon will come up in a second. Or not. Okay. And there we are. So let's go back to love again. Ah, right, okay. And then the settings. Now, as far as the settings are concerned, you can, as I said earlier, give the reactions to guests as well. You can play the sounds, which hopefully you've heard on this recording. You can show participants' names with the reactions, and you can have the reactions move on the screen. So all of those are switchable on and off. Okay. So let's take the reactions off the screen. Now, the next thing is also important. If you're running a broadcast and you have several participants as guests, then if somebody wants to speak, they can quite simply take the reactions off. They can quite simply raise their hand. Okay, as soon as they start talking, then you get a message on the screen which says it sounds like you said something, so your hand will be lowered. So the hand will disappear off the screen automatically. Now, as I say, this is important in a scenario where you've got multiple guests and somebody wants to talk. They don't want to talk across somebody because trying to cut in doesn't really work. So raise your hand if you want to talk, and you can do it, and it shows on the screen until you actually start talking. So simple, straightforward to do. And using the reactions, you can sort of put a bit of energy into your broadcast as well. So the reactions available to the host and to the guests can be seen by the viewers, and another step forward. So this is the OneStream Live Studio. This has been Stephen, and next. Right, I'm just going to go over to the chat. This is live, by the way. That was obviously a video. And back over to Domino, and Domino is saying, thank you so much, love OneStream. So as do I. Okay, and what's this minute? I just noticed something. I've got a star there. What does that do? I've just pressed a button. I don't know what happens now. Right, okay, that's gone. Okay, let's come back to me. Okay, I want to say a big thank you for actually watching live today. You've been watching Stephen from wonderful Wiltshire in England. This has been on the OneStream Live YouTube channel. Thank you, OneStream, for some wonderful updates. I'll see you all again next week. I'm live at 10 a.m. Eastern on Wednesday. So take care. Enjoy the rest of your day. I'm stop broadcasting, but you're going to watch my outro video. Bye for now.
Bye.